Welcome back to My Little Pony Express. Um, well, today is probably one of the final updates until I do any more work on her. I finally got my blinkers reinstalled. Uh, this is the cat eye unit. Obviously, this is a blinker. This is what she was missing, and this is the cat eye unit. When I got the bike, this was actually installed on the front side of the bike, but because of the modifications I had to do, she's now installed on the back side, which isn't a big deal. She's actually a little looser than I'd like her to be. I'm going to have to do something about that. I'm going to have to tighten some of this up. But that's why these zip ties are actually here, because they help keep her in place. But yeah, I'm going to have to do some snugging on that and figure that out. But they work. They work pretty damn good. What I ended up doing is the battery normally goes inside here, but the battery I had to rebuild, and it was a little too big to put inside this unit, and I didn't want to Dremel out the inside of it to make it fit. So what I actually did was, where the two connections are, the positive and the ground inside this unit, I connected to those, and then I ran this wire here out of the back of the unit through the frame of the bike, and it comes out back here in the frame, which actually goes into the back of my saddlebag. And I just put a small slit in the back of the saddlebag, and I put the battery in an eyeglass case that's sitting at the bottom of the saddlebag. Still the same connection, it's just run with an extra wire or two. And then everything else works normally. But I decided to hide the battery in here instead of hiding it in here, just because I didn't want to Dremel this out and just like fuck it all up. You know, if I ever have to do that in the future, if I feel like this doesn't work, I can, it's an option. But for now, it's hidden pretty well. Battery in here, and I got the blinkers on. This box here underneath the ignition, it's really not obtrusive. If I sit down on the bike, it's still out of the way of my knees. There's nothing uncomfortable about it. It's just in a different location. It is a little loose here, which I'm not too fond of. I did just take her for like a 2-hour ride just to test the battery out and the blinkers. And she loosened up a little bit. So I'll have to do something about that and just snug it down a little more. Because that actually makes the ground connection, and I need to make sure that it's grounded. But other than that, I can show you how she runs. All I gotta do is just turn the key on. Don't have to run her. But she's blinking. There's her right. Here's our left. Uh-oh. That means she's not blinking. That's because it's a relay problem. Oh, no, she's blinking. Okay. Well, I do have a new relay coming, so I'm going to change out the old relay. It actually is blinking. It just, yeah, that relay is old. But I have a new relay coming, so I'm going to change out the old relay for the new one. But she's got blinkers again. And she's very happy to have them. So I refurbished this old cat eye unit to work on the bike. It's a strange unit. It runs off its own power supply. Oh, apparently I don't even need to have the key in or have it on. All I gotta do is just flip the fucking flasher on. Look at that. And that's because it runs off its own independent battery. The battery does charge from the stator and the magneto on the bike. So I gotta be careful not to leave that on so I don't drain the battery, apparently. But yeah, that's pretty much how it works. It worked out. I got a new flasher unit coming from Treatland, so I'm going to replace the old one that's in here so I know it's reliable. But yeah, that's the gist of it. Got her going, and she has blinkers again. So I just wanted to show that off, and that's that. So little pony is basically complete again. She's not quite up to speed. The original carburetor doesn't want to run. The aftermarket carb runs okay. Still not quite up to the original speed, but you know what? Speed's not really an issue. The issue is getting her running and back on the road and just making sure that she still survives, you know, because she's a 47-year-old moped, and I just wanted her back on the road. She turns heads. She's fun to ride. She's just cute as shit. And yeah, here's my little pony. We got a little pony mark on her hair. Bam. So, yep, she's my little pony. But she's up and running again. Runs pretty damn good. Very reliable. I did a good job rebuilding the motor. Like I said, still I feel the carburetor issue is what's keeping it only running about 25, 27, 28 miles an hour, depending on whether I'm going on flat ground, uphill, or downhill. But I don't really care. Speed's not an issue. I don't need to speed. I just want to go. You know, she's just fun. And yeah, she's a 1978 Honda Express. Yeah, she's pretty much rebuilt. Not refurbished entirely, but she's rebuilt. And I did a pretty damn good job on her. So I'm pretty proud of myself. There you go. Have a great day. Be safe.